MAP2GROW Presents 11 Signs You Overthink Too Much. Before starting the video, if you are new here, please like and subscribe MAP2GROW. We all overthink from time to time. It's human nature to second-guess ourselves and to worry about things that may or may not happen. But when does overthinking become a problem? For some people, overthinking is a constant battle. Their mind is always racing with worst-case scenarios, and they can't seem to shake the feeling that something bad is going to happen. If this sounds like you, then you may be an overthinker. Here are 11 signs that you may be overthinking too much. Number 1. You're constantly worrying about the future. If you find yourself worrying about the future constantly, it may be a sign that you're overthinking things. This can lead to anxiety and stress, which can impact your ability to live in the present moment. If you're constantly worrying about what's going to happen next, it may be time to take a step back and reassess your priorities. Try to focus on the here and now, and let go of the need to control everything. Trust that things will work out the way they're supposed to. Number 2. You always assume the worst will happen. If you spend time thinking about the worst-case scenario, you're likely an overthinker. Sometimes this mindset will affect you so much that you begin assuming that the worst possible outcome is the only one. If you do this, it can make you dread every upcoming event. When you expect the worst, you'll always feel anxious, even when the odds of the worst-case scenario are unlikely. Living this way makes it hard to enjoy life or trust the universe. It can also cause you to give up on things because you assume it won't go well anyway. Number 3. You repeat the same conversations. If you find yourself having the same conversations with different people over and over again, it's a sign that you're overthinking things. You're likely to obsess over small details or events that have already happened, which can prevent you from enjoying your current conversation. Instead of focusing on the present, you're stuck in your head reliving past conversations or worrying about future ones. This can lead to social anxiety and make it difficult to connect with others. If you find yourself in this situation, it's important to take a step back and focus on the here and now. Try to be present in the conversation and listen to what the other person is saying. This will help you relax and enjoy the moment instead of stressing about what could happen next. Number 4. You're afraid of making mistakes. If you're someone who overthinks things, then you're probably all too familiar with the feeling of being afraid to make a mistake. It can feel like anything and everything is riding on every decision you make. So, it's no wonder that you might be paralyzed with fear at the thought of making the wrong choice. This fear of making mistakes can manifest in different ways. Maybe you're constantly second-guessing yourself, or maybe you're so indecisive that you can't even make simple choices without agonizing over them first. Either way, this fear can hold you back from living your life to the fullest and achieving your goals. Fortunately, there are some things you can do to start overcoming this fear. First, try to become more aware of when you're overthinking things. Once you've identified when you tend to overthink, you can start working on catching yourself in those moments and learning to let go. It's also important to remember that everyone makes mistakes sometimes. It's part of being human. So instead of beating yourself up over every little thing, try to learn from your mistakes and move on. And finally, don't be afraid to ask for help when needed. There's no shame in admitting that you need some extra support in overcoming your fears. Number 5. You're constantly doubting yourself. If you're constantly doubting yourself, it's likely that you overthink things too much. Overthinking can lead to anxiety and stress, and it can be hard to break out of the cycle. If you find yourself second-guessing everything you do, or if you're constantly worried about what could go wrong, it's time to take a step back and relax. Try these tips to stop overthinking. I accept that you cannot control everything. B. Take a step back from the situation. C. Focus on the present moment. D. Challenge your negative thoughts. E. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Number 6. You always need to have a plan. When it comes to overthinking, one of the biggest signs is that you always need to have a plan. You can't just go with the flow or trust that things will work out. You need to know every single detail about what's going to happen. And if anything is left up in the air, you'll fill in the blanks yourself, even if it's not accurate. This rigidity can make it difficult to enjoy spontaneity or be flexible when things don't go according to plan. Number 7. You're not emotionally present around others. If you find yourself regularly zoning out or not paying attention when others are talking to you, it's a sign that your mind is elsewhere. This can be a sign that you're overthinking too much because you're constantly thinking about other things and not focusing on the present moment. If you want to be more emotionally present around others, try to focus on their words and body language and really listen to what they're saying. This will help you to be more engaged in the conversation and connect with the other person on a deeper level. Number 8. You're always under the impression that someone is mad at you. People that overthink too much convince themselves that someone is mad at them. You might even try to appease everyone to avoid making them angry, but then still think they're upset. If you constantly think people are acting weird around you, then it's a sign. You might ask people what's wrong, and even when they assure you that they're fine, spend hours thinking about it. If you need constant reassurance that everything is okay, it's a sign that you overthink too much. Number 9. You're a people pleaser. If you find yourself constantly bending over backwards to please others, it may be a sign that you're an overthinker. People pleasers are often perfectionists who strive to avoid any potential conflict or criticism. This can lead to a lot of stress and anxiety, as you're always worried about whether or not you're meeting everyone's expectations. If you're a people pleaser, try to focus on taking care of yourself first and foremost. Set boundaries with others and don't be afraid to say no if you're feeling overwhelmed. Remember that it's okay to make mistakes. Nobody is perfect, and that not everyone will always be happy with everything you do. As long as you're doing your best, that's all that matters. Number 10. You're a control freak. If you're the kind of person who likes to be in control of everything, it's likely that you're also the kind of person who overthinks things. Control freaks tend to overanalyze every situation, looking for ways that they can take control and avoid any potential problems. This can lead to a lot of stress and anxiety, as well as feeling like you're never good enough. If you find yourself constantly worrying about what could go wrong or feeling the need to micromanage every situation, it's a sign that you might be overthinking things. Try to relax and take some time for yourself. Allow yourself to make mistakes and don't sweat the small stuff. It'll all work out in the end. Number 11. You have insomnia. Overthinkers frequently suffer from insomnia. It's difficult to fall asleep when you're constantly thinking about things that bother you. Thoughts tend to take over and consume your mind as you lay in bed at night. If you find yourself constantly worrying about what could go wrong and how you can prevent it from happening, this clearly means you overthink things too much. It's important to try to find ways to relax your mind. This can be difficult, but it's important to remember that not everything in life is under our control, and that's okay. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the bell icon for latest videos.